If you've ever struggled with fall shopping, this video is for you. Fall is my absolute favorite season. From the crisp air to the cozy layers to the beautiful changing leaves and those inspired autumnal colors, I love absolutely all of it. And it also happens to be the best time to refresh your wardrobe. I'm going to show you how I'm using my style words and combining that with the gaps in my wardrobe to guide my fall shopping. For those of you who are joining for the first time, welcome. I'm Katie, and on this channel, I talk about projecting your fullest self out into the world through personal style and holistic practices. Today, it's an absolutely beautiful day in Toronto. As you can see, I'm in a tank top. I have the windows open, but I am wearing a pair of jeans because it is getting to be a little too cool for those linen skirts or linen pants and light cotton dresses. So we are slowly moving into those heavier layers, and there have already been a few days where we've needed to put on some warmer coats and jackets, and it's not going to take long before we're really needing a few warmer pieces to help stay warm and cozy once that cooler air moves in. My past two videos have been part of my Signature Style Basics series. And in this video, I'm going to take what we learned in both of those videos. So that most recent video, I covered clearing out your closet and then figuring out what gaps remain to help with your shopping in the fall so that you aren't over purchasing anything or purchasing things that would be redundant in your wardrobe. And I also talked about my personal style words and my wildcard word in the video prior to that. Today, I'm going to show you how I'm actually using those concepts while I'm shopping for a few key pieces this fall. I'm going to start out by talking a little bit about what is currently in my wardrobe. So over the past few seasons, I have actually been collecting images of most of the things that I've purchased, and most of the things are here on this Pinterest page. But I'm just gonna talk through what I already have and share what those gaps are and then what I really am gonna be looking at purchasing for fall to ensure that I'm really rounding out my wardrobe and balancing the amount of items that I have in each category. I have two denim blazers and I have a few denim jackets. A few of them I have on this Pinterest page, but there are actually a few more. So I am all set for denim jackets and blazers. I work in a more business casual work environment, so I'm able to wear a denim jacket or a denim blazer, so I can get away with things that are a little bit more casual, which is fantastic because then I can also wear these things in the evenings and on weekends, which makes my wardrobe really transitional between different aspects of my life. So I'm very lucky to have that. I recognize that not everybody does. I also want to share that I have a cardigan addiction. I have a lot of cardigans. I counted them before this video. I have 9 cardigans. I would say most people don't need 9 cardigans, but I do wear every single cardigan that I have, and I have different cardigans for every season. I really love Sézane cardigans, so I have quite a few. I have the Isar cardigan here. I have the standard Betty cardigan, which is kind of a cult favorite, and I have it in kind of an off-white cream color and then also in an olive. I have this really pretty cardigan that I recently picked up from Nobody's Child, and I actually featured that in a video of my trip to the UK. I also have this Jack cardigan from Sézane, which is a little bit of a mid-weight cardigan. And then I have a few other cardigans from Sézane too, actually, that are more of like a crochet or macrame, and I have that in a chocolate brown and then in the off-white. As you can see, I absolutely do not need any more cardigans. I have some chunky ones as well. I have 2 chunky ones from Everlane. I don't need cardigans probably for a few more years. If I purchase any more cardigans, my wardrobe is going to get really out of balance. However, I use cardigans as jackets. I don't love a lot of blazers or suiting and jackets because I tend to favor natural fibers, and I also don't like to have to be dry cleaning my clothes. So the benefit of wearing a cardigan as a jacket to work or when I'm out and about is that they're hand washable. I tend to get either merino wool or heavier weight cotton cardigans. This just like really works for my wardrobe and my personal style and the level of dressed up that I need to get at any given time. So I'm all about the cardigans. I also have quite a few pairs of pants. I really love a twill pant for work. I like the weight of them, and I'm particularly fond of a lot of the Everlane pants. I have quite a few pairs of the utility barrel pant. I probably have too many of these. I just absolutely love the way they fit. They're super flattering on me. They look great if you have a curvier figure, meaning a small waist and a wider hip. They're super flattering because they have a tapered leg and the waist is more fitted, but then they have room in the thigh, the hip, and the butt. So depending on where you carry your weight, these can be incredibly flattering. I've also heard from people that are a bit more straighter shaped that they actually give the illusion of curves. So I think they're a very popular pant for a reason. And I even have one pair of denim utility barrel pants. As you can see, I have quite a few jersey tops from Montreal brand Coqueluche, and I have them in quite a few autumnal colors here, as well as in an off-white, and then I have a sweater from them as well. And I also favor the cozy rib tees from Everlane. I think I've mentioned them in a few other videos. I have them in multiple colors. I do find they stretch out after some time, so I have had to repurchase them, but I love them and I wear them quite a bit. I also have one winter/fall dress. I have a really hard time finding winter and fall dresses for some reason. I picked this one up from an Etsy seller, and the dress is corduroy and it is a little wide in the waist for me, but I just belt it and I get lots of compliments on both the color and the fit, and it's super cozy when it's chilly out and I just want to throw something on with a pair of tights and a low boot. I also have a few fall blouses, but not very many. But as you can see, I have a wardrobe that is heavily weighted towards knitwear, twill pants, and cardigans, and I don't have any fall skirts and I don't have many dresses. How I'm going to be rounding out my wardrobe this fall is by really looking to balance out those gaps. Technically, I have plenty of clothes. I don't really need anything else, but in order to round out my wardrobe so that I have a bit more balance, I would like to have a few skirts and I would like another dress if I can find one, and I absolutely need a few dressier tops to pair with my bottoms so that if I have an event that I'm going to, whether it's for work or for fun, that I have some dressy items so that I'm not always having to go to my 2 kind of cocktail dresses that I have in my wardrobe. And additionally, I am looking for a mid-season jacket. I have a really warm trench and I have a really warm parka, but I need a puffer or something for kind of that in-between weather before it gets bitterly cold, so that I'm not having to wear a trench with sweaters underneath it when it's 5 to, let's say, -10 degrees outside. Now I'm going to walk you through my inspiration page for fall, and in this board that is going to be kind of my ideal, I'm really looking for the best colors for me for the most part. I can wear fall colors as well as soft autumn colors, so I kind of bridge between both of those color types. I have some that lean more warm and some that lean more cool, but I find that anything too warm or too cool isn't super flattering on me. So I'm really looking for slightly muted colors. So those would be colors that have a little bit more brown or a little bit more gray in them. And on some people that look best in more saturated true colors, the colors that I wear would probably look a little bit muddy on them or might wash them out, but for me they actually bring more color out in my skin tone. Today I am not wearing the best colors for me. I am wearing a white and black striped tank. However, I don't always wear the best colors for me. I think it's really tough to strictly wear your best personal colors. If you're able to do that, kudos to you. But for me, sometimes it's more about finding something that fits well in the cut and then sacrificing the color. So as a reminder, my keywords for my personal style are natural, whimsical, effortless, and then my wild card word is magnetic. Moving on to a skirt. This one is actually from Eileen Fisher. Eileen Fisher's target market is a slightly more mature woman, and I find their sizes to be very generous. I typically wear an extra small in Eileen Fisher, and everywhere else I am a size 6. So make sure that you are looking at size charts because sizing today is so inconsistent and it really depends on the fit model that the brand is going with. Eileen Fisher, definitely you can probably size down. And what I liked about this skirt, although it is a little bit lighter, so it would be considered more, I'd say, a spring weight or an early fall weight, but I really like this textured cotton and I like the lantern shape. Technically, a lantern skirt is probably not the most figure flattering skirt on me, but I don't care. I really love a lantern shape. It fits with my effortless word, and I find that I can pull off more avant-garde pieces that are a bit too voluminous for my figure as long as I'm balancing the proportion. So I would really need to wear like a fitted turtleneck or one of my jersey tops tucked in, and I would probably want to wear something cropped in terms of a jacket or a cardigan or one of my fitted blazers to really show that I have a waistline and that I'm more petite than the skirt would lead you to believe. But I quite like this skirt, and I find that I can pull off some of the more avant-garde shaped pieces when they are in a bit of a lighter material because they don't have that rigid structure that you would typically see with a lantern skirt like this. But I would love to wear this with one of my teal sweaters or cardigans, and I think it could be paired so nicely with a lot of fall colors. So I feel like this would be almost a seasonless skirt in my wardrobe. This price point is a little bit higher at $280 Canadian. Eileen Fisher does run a little bit expensive. So from my perspective, this would really be an investment piece. You are really investing in not just the skirt, but the fact that they are producing things in a more sustainable, fair trade way. I really want to support designers that are trying to be better with their manufacturing practices. That said, I don't have an endless supply of funds for the clothes that I'm wearing, and I do wear a lot of pieces that may not fit within this kind of ethos either. Now, moving on to this Sézane blouse, and it is the Sézane blouse, and it's just come out in the past few weeks. It is a cropped kind of Victorian looking blouse in 100% organic cotton. It is absolutely stunning, a lot of details, so it definitely fits the gap in my wardrobe. I'm looking for more special, dressier blouses and tops that are are not knitwear, and it has a little bit of a peplum. It has a little bit of a ruffle collar. I love that it's cropped, so it would look great with my high-waisted pants, and it would certainly look great with the high-waisted skirts that I'm eyeing. And I actually already did purchase this, and it is everything I hoped it would be. So this is a definite yes. It's in the ecru. And then I also wanted to talk about the drawstring baggy jean from Everlane. So I already purchased these. I think these jeans are fantastic. They are not going to be everybody's cup of tea. They are a wider, baggy jean. They are kind of like the sweatpants of jeans, and I am here for them. I ended up purchasing the medium because they don't have the size runs that they typically have, 2, 4, 6, 8, etc. And I would typically wear a size 6 in Everlane pants to accommodate for my hip, but I had to purchase the medium. They are a little bit big. I tried on the small, and the small fit me fairly well, but I actually didn't love the depth of the rise. So on the small, they sat below the waist, and I really wanted them to sit at the waist. So I sacrificed the fit to be baggier in the medium, but I love them. I bought these pants to be my like super casual comfy pants, but not a sweatpant, not an exercise pant. These are great to just throw on. For my proportions, these are maybe not the most flattering pants I could have, but I wanted something comfy. I love that they're a soft denim. They're organic cotton and tencel, which is why they have a nice drape. They're also made in Turkey. I really like that they're more sustainably made, and they are just super cozy and comfy. I really am loving them and have been wearing them frequently for my casual days. And I wanted to mention that with these drawstring baggy jeans, the gap in my wardrobe that they fill is more comfortable pants that aren't a work pant and aren't a workout pant. I also wanted to mention this denim tulip midi skirt from the Gap. This is a much lower price point item. Gap is a place that I shop at from time to time because they have incredible denim. They aren't known for being the most sustainable. I do find a lot of their denim pieces to be incredibly well made and to stand the test of time. So I do purchase items from them, and the prices are very, very inexpensive for the quality of the garments. So I picked up this Gap denim tulip midi skirt, and it is incredibly flattering on for how simplistic it is. It is a classic tulip design, no pockets, but it has really evenly spaced gores and a side zip. It doesn't have a waistband that is cut separately. The waistband is part of the self fabric, but it is really cute, and I think it would be flattering on a lot of silhouettes. What I really love about this skirt in terms of filling my wardrobe gaps is that I can wear it to work because of the cut and the length, but I can also wear it out when I'm being social, or I can wear it more casually. It will look equally as good dressed up as it will dressed down. So this is going to be a great staple piece in my wardrobe. It also hits the keywords of natural because it's cotton, effortless because it's so easy to wear and launder, but I would say it's not necessarily whimsical or such an incredibly special piece that I would call it magnetic. So it hits two of the keywords and fills that gap. Also, I wanted to mention that I found a puffer from Columbia, the women's Pike Lake jacket, and I like it in the stone green color, which is kind of a neutral olive shade, and I like that it has waist emphasis and that it has omni heat tech, so it will actually be warm. It has a zip up collar and a hood that doesn't have the fur trim, so it won't block out the wind as much as a faux fur trimmed hood will. It is not the most fashion forward jacket, but sometimes we need things that are practical and really serve a function in our lives, and this coat would do it, and I think it would be as flattering as a puffer coat can be, but I think it hits my word of effortless and potentially natural just because it's more kind of organic lines. It's not whimsical, but it's easy care and it would certainly keep me warm. So this would be my mid-season, not super dressy jacket, but like I said, I have a trench that is a little bit dressier. I really like the olive color. As you can see, I am very drawn to greens. So this is a good option for me, although a lot of brands don't have their fall coats out yet, so I'm also going to wait a little bit longer and see what else I can find. I also think this low boot from Geox is really cute. It's the Nebula 2.0 and it's just a simple minimalist boot. I really like that there's a gold zipper, which you don't usually see on footwear. You'll usually see a silver zipper, so I like that. And these look really comfortable. They're waterproof. So this would fit my word of being effortless. Definitely nothing whimsical about these. They're natural in that they are in a leather material, and I'm certainly interested in more practical footwear. So this would be a really good example of the type of boot that I would be wearing throughout the fall and even the winter, with pants as well as skirts and even dresses. One of the things that's really important to me is seasonal balance, and I really want to make sure that my basics and special pieces are working together and can be mixed and matched. Everybody has basics, but they're different from person to person. For me, my basics are knitwear t-shirts and knitwear long sleeves, and they typically have a puff sleeve or some sort of detail, and then my twill pants. I'd say those are the staple of my wardrobe that I then build on with cardigans, jackets, mixing and matching skirts with those as well, or mixing and matching more special pieces like blouses with lace and other detail to really elevate some of those pieces and make the look feel a bit more exciting and interesting. When I'm looking for special pieces, I like to find an unexpected cut or maybe a pop of color, as well as adding textural elements or embellishments on the surface. So that pretty much sums up how I'm using my style words and wardrobe gaps as a filter when I'm shopping this upcoming season, and how I'm thinking about balancing those basics with those more special pieces. If you're also shopping for fall, I would love to hear what gaps in your wardrobe you're looking to fill, and if you're using your style words to guide those purchasing decisions. So let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. As a reminder, I'm going to be continuing on with my personal style basics series, and we're going to be continuing to talk about some practical ways to make decisions about your wardrobe. Thanks again, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!